How's it going, guys? Today I'm bringing you a Pokemon X and Pokemon Y battle against Vincent. And Vincent's a really cool guy. I don't know how to pronounce his YouTube username, which is sort of weird because I have like a really hard one to pronounce, but I don't know how to pronounce his. So his name will be in the title or whatever, and his channel will be in the description. I'm pretty sure he has one. So yeah, go check him out. Really cool guy, and be pretty cool if you could go sub and whatever, I guess, because why not? So I was just on X and Y. I just EV'd and IV'd some new stuff, so I was like, I'll use some of it. And I just went looking for a battle. Vincent accepted, so this is how this battle came to head, I guess. And yeah, so we're going over my team real quick. Brought Mamoswine, Venusaur, Mega Venusaur, which is so bulky, Vaporeon, which it doesn't do much work in this battle, but I'm going to upload future battles where this thing is just the game winner. It's so bulky and so strong. Heliolisk with Life Orb, which is one of my favorite Pokemon in this gen. Aegislash and Conkeldurr wrap up the team. Vincent's team is very, very good. Very, sun offense, which is pretty nice to see. I haven't seen much weather in this gen so far, but I expect to see more of it once Pokebank comes out, and there's more sort of weather abusers that will help it out. But, yeah, I got a nice sun team. I got myself a Garchomp, Togekiss, which Togekiss is, like, insanely bulky. Gengar, Volcarona, Heliolisk as well, which I was very happy to see, because I do love Heliolisk. And finally, Ninetales, which he leads off with. So, let's just get into this battle and see how it went. And that was sort of a weird intro, but yeah, I like see how it went. But anyway, Vincent is going to lead off with his Ninetales, as I'm going to be leading off with my Mamoswine, and I believe my Mamoswine in this battle is actually Choice Scarf. So, what I do is pretty much just sell up my Stealth Rocks. I know I can take something from this thing, so I wasn't too worried, so I just, like, I didn't even need Mamoswine that much looking at his team. It would have been actually helpful against Togekiss and Garchomp, but just makes a safe play, goes for the Flamethrower. Flamethrower in the sun is going to do about half to Mamoswine, who does take it because of Thick Fat. So I am able to survive and keep my Choice Scarf Mamoswine for later, should I need it. Now I'm going to go into my Vaporeon, and he makes a good play on the next turn, as you guys are going to see. So, goes for Flamethrower, doesn't do that much because Vaporeon, look at its HP, it's level 50, and it has 237 HP. So it's pretty darn bulky. I'm going to go for the Protect, and here's where he makes a good play. I was scouting to see if he had Solar Beam, and he goes for the Confuse Ray. So I'm like, oh cool, he doesn't have Solar Beam, but he cannot touch this Vaporeon. But on the next turn, he actually reveals that he does have the Solar Beams. I was like, oh, okay. I got caught out there, but goes for the Solar Beam. And, barely even scratches Vaporeon. Vaporeon is too bulky. Unfortunately, I do miss the Toxic, which it doesn't even matter that much, but still, it would have been nice to hit it, get that nice little bit of toxic damage off on this Ninetales, and I could have toxic stalled it a little bit, because I go for the Protect here, just to gain a little bit more Lefty's recovery, as he's going to go for the Solar Beam, and obviously it doesn't work because I use Protect. But yeah, that was a good play on his part, to go for the Confuse Ray, and bait me into not thinking he had the Solar Beam. I was like very confident that he could not touch Vaporeon, so he tricked me out very well there, faked me out, and yeah, good play. So, goes for the Confuse Ray here. I hate Confusion, I just hate it. Paralysis and Confusion, I hate them the most. I hate Freeze too, but yeah, just sort of sucks. So, I am able to break through the Confusion, go for a Toxic on this Ninetales. I could have went for the Scald, got some damage off, but I think whittling this thing down over time will be better. I mean, I can force it to switch out because I have Scald, and I do have my Stealth Rock set up, so yeah, I'm going to get some nice residual. He reveals his whole set to me by going for the Will-O-Wisp. So that's Confuse Ray, Flamethrower, Solar Beam, and Will-O-Wisp. Pretty good set. Pretty standard Ninetales, I guess. I usually see Sunny Day over Confuse Ray, I guess, and if he did have Sunny Day, then that would be generally the standard Ninetales that was running in 5th Gen OU. So, hurt myself in Confusion. Obviously, that is not great, and I am burned. So my Vaporeon is taking a lot of damage. He's going to switch out now from his Ninetales. Now, I wanted to go for the Scald here, but I decided I'm going to switch out. And I am going to go out into my Venusaur. And, yeah, you're going to see my Venusaur is pretty darn bulky. It has like 187 HP. It's a bulky, special defensive Venusaur. It's actually meant for Mega Venusaur. So this thing just, like, eats up Ice Beams. It eats up Flamethrowers, Fire Blasts. Whatever you want to go for, it's going to take. So, goes out into his Ninetales. As, I'm going to go for the Sludge Bomb. Or I'm going to go for the Sleep Powder. But I guess he predicted that and went into his, Ninetales. So that was a good play on his part again, so yeah, I predicted my Sleep Powder, went out to his Ninetales, unless he just didn't want his Gengar, like, to get attacked, and figured that he could sack his Ninetales because it was poison and Stealth Rock damage or whatever, but maybe he predicted correctly, predicted my sleep pattern, and went out to his Ninetales. That's the correct play too. As he goes for the Willow Spear, I am able to avoid that and go for a Sludge Bomb, which, racking up with poison damage, is going to be able to knock him out. And that Sludge Bomb did a lot, considering I don't have any investment in special attack. That was just raw power from Venusaur, so yeah, it's Mega Venusaur, alright. So I'm able to knock out his Ninetales. And here I knew I could take at least one Air Slash from this Togekiss, but obviously with Togekiss having Serene Grace, it's always risky to stay in. And here I make him, well, I look at the damage, that's at 90 HP, so I was like, alright, I can take another one. Turns out that was like minimum damage, or yeah, minimum damage, and he is able to knock me out in the next turn. So I was kind of annoyed about that. I was like, I probably should have damage calced it, but I didn't. Gonna go into my Heliolisk, which is gonna go for the Volt Switch, and bring this thing down to a very low amount of HP. So I was pretty happy with that, and here I believe I predict the Aura Sphere, and I go out into my Vaporeon, knowing I can take it. I really should have went to Age Slash, because obviously I don't get affected by that, so kind of a misplay, but I knew Vaporeon was just going to eat that up, so not really a problem. I am going to force him to go for the Roost. I make a misplay here again, because I don't go for the Wish, I actually go for the Scald, just in case he wanted to attack me again. I wasn't taking any risks, and I was kind of hoping I'd get the burn. Just hoping for a little bit of hacks, because sometimes you gotta hope for it. He did flinch me, so I kind of need my hacks back. But gonna go for a Scald, as I said, and it is gonna do decent. I mean, this is, again, no investment in special attack. This is just raw power from Vaporeon. And Togekiss is, like, bulky as hell. So I'm not gonna be able to do that much damage. And figuring Vaporeon would not be too handy, I'm just gonna let it get knocked out by an Air Slash. And as you're gonna see, it doesn't matter that much. I didn't really need it. So, go into my Heliolisk, as he's actually going to predict my Thunderbolt, which is a good play on his part, and go out into his Garchomp. However, we all know where this is going. This Heliolisk is well trained. This Heliolisk is going to go for the Hidden Power Ice with a Life Orb and just knock this thing the hell out. Because I do not care about Gliscor or Garchomp. This Heliolisk just takes out whatever it wants. So I knock out his Garchomp. And yeah, that's a threat taken care of. I was kind of afraid he may even Scarf, but I just played it safe, in my opinion. Just went for, well, I didn't play it safe. I played it riskily, actually. Banked on him not being Scarfed. So, he's going to go to his Heliolisk. I predict the Focus Blast. Go out into my Aegislash. And I know that Heliolisk, it can hit me with Thunderbolt, but it can't do too much. But he actually reveals to have the Dark Pulse. My set is Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Hidden Power Ice, and Focus Blast. Unfortunately, he gets a flinch. I did go for the Sword Stance, so as you guys are going to see, that didn't matter too much. Luckily for me, he doesn't get the second flinch, because if he did, then I would have been furious, but he doesn't, and I am able to go for a Sacred Sword, and that Sacred Sword is going to be able to knock out the Heliolisk. So, what I consider a threat, I'm not sure if many people consider Heliolisk a threat, but it's knocked out, and here it goes out into Volcarona, and I was really worried about this thing. I was like, there's no way I can let this thing Quiver Dance. I just go straight for the Shadow Sneak. I don't even care if I get burned, and as you can see, this is a hefty amount. And that's like a 2-hit KO, so I'm really glad I went for the Shadow Sneak and didn't go for like King Shield. Because if he went for the Quiver Dance, I could have been in trouble there. But yeah, I just went for the Shadow Sneak. I knew I had to get damage. I could not let it set up, so I knew I had 2 Shadow Sneaks would have taken it out. And luckily for me, 1 does enough to bring it to the range where Helioptile can knock it out, or Heliolisk, not Helioptile. Heliolisk is gonna be able to wrap this all up for me. And that's why I said Heliolisk is a threat. He took out what, 3 Pokemon? Or no, took out, yeah, 3 Pokemon, I think. I wasn't really counting. But it goes, he Mega Evolves here. Mega Gengar's banned, but whatever. I mean, who cares? It's like we're playing under OU rules, but I don't really care. So, Mega Evolves into Mega Gengar. He must be modest as well, because I outspeed. I am timid, Heliolisk. So, I am able to knock him out cleanly with the Thunderbolt. And that's just, like, Heliolisk showing some power. Just knocking stuff out. Anyway, he's gonna go out into his last Pokemon, which is Togekiss. I know I outspeed. He's at lower range HP. He can go for a Thunderbolt and just KO that. And Heliolisk, again, wraps up the game. Pretty much does a lot of work in this game, actually. Pretty much neutralized that Togekiss as much as I could with my Heliolisk. Took it down a lot of HP. And yeah, I was gonna wrap up the battle. So, Heliolisk took out 4 Pokemon. Took out the Volcarona, the Gengar, the Garchomp, and the Togekiss. So yeah, Heliolisk put in a lot of work. I was happy to see that, obviously with Heliolisk being one of my favorite Pokemon in 6th Gen. And yeah, just hope you guys enjoyed this battle. If you do, leave a like. Be sure to check out my opponent's channel, and I will see you guys next time. So, see you then.